I don't think he can, to be honest.
Doesn't look good for me. I haven't got the best angle, but
I'm right behind it. I don't think he can pot it there.
has he got the angle to run into it?
He's looking at it now. I think he's high on this.
If there's any time to fire, Matty, it is now. Overrun it a little bit there, which he won't be too happy with. See how he tames up this white ball in his next visit. And Dion has gone for the extraction there, I think. Oh no, he might have been trying to get around the back of it, to pot that to the corner.
Well, either way, he's not on it.
But you need to look at these, because if the line between from the centre of the black and the yellow, if they're close enough together and the line is right to the lower side of the pocket, if you hit that ball, hit the black off the top rail, you're actually a very good danger partner. The angle won't change too much in them, depending on where you hit them when they get a bit closer to the yellow. They'll stay pretty consistent. Whether he sees that and whether he likes that. He looks like he's playing the other side. At 2-all.
Pressure's on.
I don't know.
Pressure is on.
It's not really. He's sort of pushing it in towards his two harder balls by the looks of it.
Yeah,
playing that way. Oh. And Mick has just jawed a ball.
Pockets
show
themselves again.
It was no easy ball.
No.
The only reason I expected that ball to go in was because he was on the other end of the queue.
Yep. Yeah, well, I don't know. Do you think what happened last night will really linger on him if he makes the final again?
Well, I don't know. I was sort of curious that same thing myself, whether he gets a bit hungrier or whether he has a bit more doubt in the back arm. But Dion's done well there, actually. He has contained the yellows a little bit. Did he have 2 visits?
No, I don't think so.
Definitely looks like it. He's still at the table.
Oh, did Dion have 2 visits?
Yeah.
Ah. I'm not sure. I wasn't quite looking.
I don't know if that makes me more inclined to play it the way that I said or the way that he said still. The white can run a little bit crazy, but you know your black's going to be in a good spot with your 2 if you hit it. And if you contact it full ball, you can't go wrong, really. Doesn't look like he's got that top right corner. Goes for the full table double. Might have been thinking safe white there as well a little bit, but he's underhit it. But Matty, bit of an awkward situation here. Happy with the double. I give him about, as long as it's not too close to the double kiss, which it's a bit off the rail there. I think I give him about 80% to pot this. I would have been a lot happier if he. Oh, he has not hit that well at all. Must have been very close on the double kiss. He's tried to force it out of it. A 1-0 start would have been a lot handier in a race to 3 than a race to 4. Though. Dion for the black to the top corner. He's taking his time on this. He's done well. Just to see whether Enrico plays another safety or whether he does have a go. He has a bit of an angle to kick those 2 dead ones here. Yeah, no, that's a good shot.
Very good shot.
It's a well-controlled shot. Dion's still a good danger to hit this black. It's not on, it's not off, so it's worth giving him a go at it, I think, as well as opening up his 2 balls. I think that was a smart one. That passed the acronym test that I haven't made up yet. Mick with nice position for his last ball. I'm sure he'll just give the black a little nudge just to confirm it.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, well controlled.
He plays them so well. Those little nudges is just...
They can go wrong, but
he always does just what he needs to and nothing more.
yeah, engage the game better than anyone. That's why he's the world #1.
That's it. Mick Hill, first frame on the board.
Oh, Dion missed it. He's had a decent go at that. Not an easy one with the short white, long black, if that makes sense. Short white to the rail, longer distance from the black. It always makes your doubles that a little bit harder. A little bit fussier. I do like the imaginary table for that rule, but a lot of people disagree, think it's a stupid theory. For those who don't know, basically got to imagine the second table starts where the first table ends. For the double. Doesn't make much sense without setting it up on a table, but I find that's when it comes in handy with the short white and long object ball that you're aiming for. Or even the same thing on a double sort of thing. If it's, just picture a second pocket the same distance as the 2 pockets are apart, further along. I think it's handy. But Jake McCartney thinks it's stupid, so it's probably stupid.
Each to their own, right?
Yeah, well that's it. I've got another one. Got a funny situation I've been in with a lot of top players lately.
There you go. Giorgio's had a win.
Yeah, he's done well to take that, I think. Dion did take his chances, but
he tried. Put his back into it.
Didn't get much of an opportunity in that last one.
So you can tell he's like, yeah, I don't know, I got lucky. What's his face?
Yeah, but I've heard from at least 4 very high quality players about a theory for doubling, which is a very good theory as long as the ball's close to the rail.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But they are trying to tell me that it doesn't matter if the ball's away from the rail. But my mathematics says it definitely does. The old lining up parallel to the table. So square across the table to the ball, and then line up from that point on the rail to the pocket. And that's the angle that you need to hit that ball to double it.
Ah.
Haven't heard that one? Okay, it gets around a bit. I think it's it sounds like, from what I've heard, it's stemmed from a bit of 9 ball, 10 ball sort of thing. They use a lot of that because they've got to play a lot more doubles than we do.
Pace is massive for a double too.
Well, it is.
It'll square up huge.
Yeah, which is why it's another thing that it takes effect. But you can't. There's no double theory that works and takes into account everything, what side you're hitting and how hard you hit. You've got to work out the rest a little bit yourself. But my theory of that, because they seem to think that it doesn't matter if you're doubling that red, the red that he's just played there. they think it still gives you the angle, which is a different angle for the double. So it gives you the same angle, and you need a different one. I can't convince them that it doesn't work. Between, I think I've talked to Alec Evernatus about it, who's where it all stemmed from mostly, I think. I've talked to Jake about it. I've talked to Jamie Stevens about it. Talked to Mark Curwood about it. Pretty sure there was another very credible player. They all seem to think that it just works. And it works for them, but it's funny, you watch them line them up, and then you watch their line change as they go to the ball, because they naturally see the double. They've played the game that much, they don't need it. But it is handy on those days where you're sort of just not seeing the double.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
This is going to be an interesting tactical frame. It's hard to say that Matty's a good chance tactically against a player like Mick Hill, but in saying that, when Matty come runner-up in Berry, he played some of the best tactical games that I've seen.
He's playing Mr. Stevens.
But a lot of that was also in control. It was not so much theory, but in how he was hitting the balls. And I'm not seeing that control at this stage. Mick obviously looking to pop that red out of the pocket. But how do you... The other red on the rail is a big advantage for Mick. Yeah, it's a good shot. You do need the 2 visits for that ball on the rail. And it's almost not even worth attempting any kick on it, because unless you can kick it from below. Because otherwise that plant for the yellows will go straight in the pocket for you. I see Matty probably pushing his ugly red up at this stage. It's really his only problem. The others, a little bit of white ball control for him, but they are on. See, he's overplayed that a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
It does make the red on, but it doesn't sort of cover the pocket. Mick looking at a clever little shot here, I think, to get underneath the red.
Here we go.
Bit of backhand.
He's a madman.
Doesn't love a rest. Matty now probably to just touch the red in the rail. Force Mick to come out and play his ball on the rail. On that left rail.
Enrico's just really tried to slow Jamie down there by covering that yellow over the right bottom pocket.
Sorry guys, just jumping in the Blancs comp there.
The Blancs comp.
Yeah.
How's that work? Do you have to pay to answer that too?
I don't know if it's first 2 rounds if you've been knocked out. Did you lose your last match?
I lost my first match. Yeah.
Lost your first, yep. Yeah, it cost $10.
But I had 2
$10
buys.
entry. Oh, I still don't think it'll.
I might go suss that out actually. I'll be back in a set.
So the tactical frame moving along. Matty's still in a really good spot here. Mick at the table though, which gives him a definite advantage. Matty probably going to look at pushing the left red deeper into the pocket so it can't be moved using the yellow. Dangerous. You definitely need a control on this shot, and he's hit that well. He's thought that right through his the way he's hit that. There's never any danger of potting it, basically. As well as pushing both yellows to one side of the ball, leaving an open spot. Oh. And Enrico back on the right table, versus Jamie Stevens this time. Oh. So now for the tactical frame. It's hard not to pop mixed ball over the pocket. Whether you get away with it, though. It does take some good pull from Mick to do anything from there, but you do need good cover. He's played that well. Mick's, it does force the hand a little bit in a way. You would like to play them 2 balls on the side first, but he's borderline lost the option not to. Jamie Stevens with a good containing shot there. Which makes me wonder whether I think the yellow does go underneath the red. I think it's the 2 balls on that top, most of the dead one on the top of the left rail. Oh. Enrico with a very good shot. Perfect touch. So we've got 2 Ballarat players on the tables at the moment. And one's wearing a WA shirt and the other one's wearing a Queensland shirt.
He didn't like the Big Gun shirt, apparently. The Q was sticking to him, he said.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is a worry. Well, Manny playing himself into a very good spot here. He's this is a good spot to learn from the world's best what exactly you do when you're in a bad spot like this.
No, I don't know how you regain control, because that's what he's got to do. He's just trying to kill him on the
A lot of players will suggest to play the black onto the balls. It does work, but a lot of the time. Yeah, your match is on, Jamie.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I was watching
Jamie's
the other
just
table.
asked for us to double check a foul, and he says he
thinks he's
feathered the red.
He's hit the red with his cue.
So we're just going to have a quick look at that replay.
It does look like it's sitting in the exact same spot, but
you guys might as well join in on this. The fan interaction is always nice. So we're getting really close to the red here.
Dion going 100% zoom.
Now we're going to watch.
Yeah,
the red has definitely moved.
Yeah.
So there you go, it was a foul. Real sportsmanship from Jamie there, really calling himself up on that. Wanted to be safe and sorry, just double check.
That's it.
A lot of people wouldn't call that. But thankfully, pool's an honest game. A lot of people will call a foul if they know they've fouled, which is my favourite thing about this sport.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people at home would have seen that and been screaming at the TVs, going, he's fouled. Foul him. But yeah, I was watching the other match at the moment.
Yeah.
Still pretty intrigued with what's going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
Mick at the table currently.
Thanks for that, Dan. Appreciate it.
Doesn't look too sure.
What's he doing here?
I have little to no idea. I don't know if he's looking at playing that yellow onto the further in red, but that is so dangerous because
he's talked himself out of it.
Because you're a massive danger of the foul snooker. Foul snooker makes you nominate the yellow above the left red, and then if you haven't covered that bottom right red, you lose.
That's it. tough one to call.
I don't know. Do you want those 2 yellows in there, or do you want them out? Your other 2 yellows are almost forced to be in there, but
I mean, where else do they go? That sucks. Enrico just put a monstrous black, but unfortunately put a yellow out turn.
Oh no.
So, Jamie with the first frame in that game.
Matty with what appeared to be a bit of a loose shot. I think he was just trying to open up the balls.
Yeah.
Mick keeps trying to smother him, and I think he just wanted him out in the open, but he's got a bit of a bad result on his red on the yellow on that right hand side.
I want to know when Mick decides to pull the trigger, what does he do with these 2 balls? What does he do?
I think they almost look that deep that you need to play the black on them. I don't know if they come out. Which to me seems is usually more of a sooner rather than later. So he must see something better if he's...
Another one down.
Yeah, he's playing the black on soon.
It's a tough
As
one.
soon as Matty gives him an opportunity.
So what does Mick do? Not Mick. What does Matt do?
Open up his dead ball on the side rail.
Yeah, but I mean, what's his game plan to free up that bottom
For that ball. Well, now that there's that many yellows in there, it is hard to consider consider pushing a ball not towards it, sort of centre table, but so you have the option to play your plant. Or whether he's just going to wait it out for Mick. See, sometimes in these scenarios, I like to look at it. I like to pop my opponent's balls, basically. Leave them pot their last ball that's outside of the cluster and leave them where you want them to play the cluster from. See, but Mick, considering Mick's doing the same thing, I don't know. He's obviously going to tactically have what is the best idea in his head, more than any of the rest of us.
Well, he just doesn't want to leave without snooking.
Well, that's what I'm doing if I'm Matty. I try and pop that, and then just probably play another yellow in there. And it does give him the 2 visits to get the black on, though. Is the problem with that?
Has he tightened himself here?
Yep.
What's he doing?
Guaranteed. He's moving the... He's putting the black over his pocket. Says, put it over yours now, Mick. There ya. Which Mick probably will. With a touch of screw.
Yeah.
Hasn't got it quite as deep as he would like.
I mean... Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
So, yeah, it is funny. A lot of the things that people say are tactically the right thing to do, they always have downfalls to them. As in, if you play the black over your balls, it can sort of cluster you a little bit, can hinder you. Like having that extra yellow in there as well could end up being trouble for Mick. Could end up working out for him as well, though. But
he's not going to put any others in, would he?
Nah, he's definitely not going to push any more on. He's got all sides of the pocket there covered.
So dead. I don't know. I don't understand the shot to get them out.
Is he doubling underneath the red? Oh,
that's it.
That is not what you want. Couldn't afford that. I think he was trying to double underneath it, obviously. Matty with a bit of tricky white here, but with 2 visits, he's got to be looking the goods. You want to separate your white from these yellows is what you need to be thinking. He's checking frozen, which is funny because I wouldn't be hitting them that soft. As long as you make sure you're not potting them. I'd almost... Oh, sorry, he's not checking frozen. He's nominated a ball. He's done fairly well out of that. I don't know if I like it. Depends on what angle exactly the white has on it. But black off the top rail, full ball into the yellow to leave it over the pocket, but the yellow can get in your way, so it's not 100%. But he's played it. He's played that perfectly.
That's a good shot.
Gotten away with it very well. The problem with doubling it out either way was similar distance from the top rail and the side rail, which causes contention for the white to double hit it again, leave it in there. So he sort of had to play that shot.
That might have been the first frame that Mick's dropped the ball.
Oh yeah?
I think, maybe.
Jamie Stevens on the Reds by the looks of it. Trying to move his dead ball. Hasn't worked out for him. That's why he's playing an overly offensive shot, because he had the 2 visits. He's got to get rid of that top ball while he's up there, I think, now. It's not going to do him any favours later. So Maddie's dry break.
What do you like here, man?
I like the Reds. The yellows aren't terrible. I think the Reds just need a little bit less white ball control. Considering the first shot on yellows is also terrible, to play it to the centre and run up towards that top left corner. They are tricky being on 2 opposite sides of the cluster of yellows, getting through them and running into them and not pushing them onto your other balls. But it'll be interesting to see what Mick does here. He's obviously, I think he'll be trying. As I was saying, trying for a position on one of his trickier balls. Had that red to the centre as a fallback land, but see how well he controls. See, that is just a well-controlled shot. That is so hard to.
That's
so hard not to overhit that a little bit and push the yellow in front of yours, or run into 2 balls, land on them. There's a lot of things that can go wrong there, and he's just controlled that. So.
Oh, that is on. That doesn't look on the camera.
Does also go to the bottom right. But I think the reason he'll be playing it now is because he gets no position off that bottom ball. He runs into the yellow. It's very hard to control. Now he's got a little bit better angle on it.
Bit stiff to be on that yellow. He doesn't like it at all.
Yeah, it is looking a touch awkward. There's not much of a gap there to get through for the Reds. But Mick does. Well, I've seen Mick play a lot of really nice balls playing over the top of another ball with a Chinese snooker. He looks so controlled at the table.
He does.
That front hand is so solid. Never looked like missing it. And forced almost everything that you can out of it.
Yep. Is he on this top ball? I don't think he is.
No, I don't think so.
He's got a bit of a tough shot here.
I think he's got almost half ball. Yeah, we'll take a nice shot to control the white on this one.
It's a good shot from Jamie.
Probably looking at. He's probably going to have to be looking at playing that last red that he's looking at now. I would have thought that it'd have to go to the bottom left with the angle he's got, unless he basically runs into it. Jamie a little bit soft there, a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, giving up the 2 shots to Enrico there.
It's funny when Colby's hitting them a little bit too hard and Jamie's hitting them a little bit too soft.
See it. Go further, he says.
I think Enrico's got. I think that's decent position there. Looks like he can get the edge of the yellow. He might have to like fine cut the centre ball to the top side of the pocket, but he should. Looks like he should have it. Mick looking at the ball that we thought he wasn't on.
He might play it to the middle.
He's looking at doubling it, I think, which is not a bad shot apart from the traffic of the white.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets good position on his last ball if he does, but he doesn't like it, probably for the same reason. Oh, that's a good controlling shot. Black definitely does not pass through the 2 yellows. Yeah, he's screwed down here.
Which he probably would have preferred anyway, to be honest. Beautiful shot as always. Don't see many bad shots from him. Nick Hill goes 2 up.
Enrico for the big triple.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
They're in a lot of trouble here of knocking the black towards the red. It looks like he might just be able to get the black to the rail low side of the red. Nah, all day. Borderline unmissable. Without changing your angle of yellow too much or deep screw. Mind you, that yellow does look a little bit high
This bottom
of centre,
red
so he has overcut it.
How important is it to get above this red on the right middle? Is it that important?
No, not really, unless that yellow has some of the pocket. Yeah.
Oh, why is he putting that first?
I think if Jamie was commentating right now, he'd be sitting there going, why has he potted that first? It is really funny when you watch so much pool on CueballTV. You get really used to working out the game from this position.
Yeah.
So you get on the table and sometimes you look at the balls and they just look funny. Even they can be in the exact same position, but you play a different way through them because you see it, because you're looking at them differently from different angles.
I mean, as long as he was on one of those balls, he was
Well, basically, but
it was really preference.
Still seemed a bit looser than it needed to be. Like they were basically rolled in. Like he's going to be a little bit high on his last ball, but
It's Jamie up another frame.
2-0.
3-0 now.
And considering Maddie broke first,
Put it up early. You never put it up early. What's going on? That's the first I've seen it.
So Maddie broke first, which makes
that
was Mick's break that he's
So Jamie is up
working off.
2-0 in the other game. I keep cutting you off. I feel horrible for doing that.
That's alright, I feel the same. Gets like that, you have that big pause, and then all of a sudden both people think of something to say at once. So he's in not a bad spot here, by the looks of it. That red up the top, there's a big gap next to that. The yellow goes, no, the red at the top left.
Oh, what?
The yellow goes underneath that. Is he on the reds or the yellows? Is he already nominated?
I thought he was on the red. I'm pretty sure he's on the red.
He probably is.
According to the graphic
Yeah,
by
well,
our
considering
good
he's
man Dan,
taken
he's
so
on
long.
the red.
There you go.
I forgot to even look at that.
Yeah, I haven't been watching that one for a little while actually. It's a good idea, I did think, when that first one came in. Considering Mick's got that ball at the top to always land on, I wouldn't be surprised if he runs into that red above the black, or even the black itself. The black is on to the bottom right, but if there are any who don't know, Jamie Stevens, who is 2-0 up, is basically the main commentator for Cueball. He's on CueballTV.
Did she call my name?
Yeah, she did, and she also called mine because I'm playing Jake McCartney. That's what you come to Melbourne for, so you can play Ballarat players.
The mics are going silent.
I better go
Someone should jump on.
see what I can do. See if we can find some commentators for you on the way out. See you guys.
No rolls there, Nice to forward, is it? Come on, Manny.
Good afternoon, everyone out there. Mark Robertson here. I just saw a couple of mics free and Mick Hill and Matty Curwood playing, and I thought I'd got to jump on this. All I know is that it's 3-1 and Mick has ball in hand. And on the other match, we've got Jamie Stevens, who was looking pretty ordinary this morning, telling everyone not to buy him in the Calcutta, so I think he pinched himself for $30. And here he is, chipping away again. Always just chipping away, old Jamie Stevens. Chip, 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 chip. Finally, I get to comment on one of his matches and criticise him. But for now, I think we'll just focus on the Mick Hill, Matty Curwood. I'm about to be joined in the commentary box by professional commentator Paul Pike, who's I think's done a fantastic job over the last couple of days at Big Guns. I've been listening a little bit at home after I unfortunately lost. And I always don't mind. I probably actually enjoy the commentary more than watching the pool if I ever turn on CueballTV.
G'day, g'day everybody.
So have you watched any of the matches? What's going on? How you going yourself so far?
No good, no good.
No good?
I lost 3-2 in the first round, so...
Who got you?
Box comp. Paul Kaiser.
Ah, yep.
Yeah, it was a...
Close match, obviously, 3-2.
Yeah. Anyway, who we got here?
We got Jamie Stevens on the right-hand screen. For some reason, put a crazy amount of right-hand side on that. I don't know why, almost lost the white, but the one I think we should focus on is this Matty Curwood, Mick Hill, both world champions. All I've seen is Mick at the table, potting balls, so I haven't really seen anything of Matty.
So this is race to 4 and he's already 3-1. Yep.
Yes, yep. So, where's he? I haven't really had time to have a look at this. Oh, is he gone too far?
I think he's going to screw across to the side
No,
right
he's
here.
perfect. I'm looking at the table now. It's cherry ripe. That shot there is one of the reasons why he does so well, is because even a lot of our top Australian boys would have ran that another centimetre or 2, and all of a sudden that shot becomes 10 times harder. But he's always just so nice.
His position is...
Ooh, hang on a second. That that did actually roll out. I was watching that down the rail. I don't think he hit it crisp, like really nice, but it didn't look fantastic off the bat.
But you're right about his position. It's just phenomenal. One thing I noticed with him compared to a lot of players, he gets right up on the shot.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of players, they'll come up short quite often off the cushions and things,
Yep.
and he makes sure he's right up on the shot.
Yeah, I did actually had a coaching session with him. I got a lesson off him before Big Guns, and that was one of the things that you mentioned just then that he does. We pretty much just went over a couple of things, and yeah, I took a lot of it on board, and pretty much trying to get really good with the white. If you always sort of run and hide with it and play safe, you're never actually really going to perfect the white ball. This looks good. Nope, it's not good at all. So, what do you do here, Pikey?
Two shots on the red. Well.
I'll let you know if I have something. He's going to hit a ball before I can think of something.
He's going for the pot.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, there's a ton of good safety shots you can play now. If those reds go to the middle, which I'm sure they do, they're fine. You've got the two reds near the black. They're like a nice big blocker buffer wall for a snooker. I don't mind this, but you'd really want to take the centre pocket out of the equation.
I think that was a little bit risky. I don't know. Like,
If he, well,
it's not.
no,
the
it's actually
worst
pretty
shot.
good.
It's not the
actually
worst
pretty
shot,
good.
but
Look, he had to do something, and he had to take that on at some point. If he gets that, he can run the out, and if he doesn't, Mick Hill still doesn't really have a shot.
yeah, that's right.
That's right. That shot's all right.
Mick Hill now manoeuvres this into a potable position, and
Yeah, I'm not too sure what he's going to do here. If he's played this with left-hand side, I reckon he can cut this.
well, I don't know. Looks like he's sort of.
No, he's concerned with, because if he plays this with at maximum left, the white's going to fling out to the right a little bit, and that's where that red sort of near the black, it's just sort of irritating you.
He did try.
Gave it a crack. Now, I think you definitely take the balls on here, but you don't run it in a route that you have to make any remotely difficult shots. Otherwise, you know, you're going to leave Mick up.
Can take top left corner, run back down the cushion.
Yeah, I'd actually be getting rid of this top one over the bag as well. I just see that as no value and actually a little bit annoying later to come back up to. So you can play this one now and float down towards the centre pocket. Obviously not on line with the centre pocket. So he's just going to cover up here. Nothing wrong with this shot at all. Just don't pot it.
Yep. Yeah, he's still going now. He's got the red across the table.
Yeah, well, now you continue to have a dip. I'm looking at the table now. You know, they're all there. Yeah, I think covering up here in some ways probably just a bit negative. Well, if he's on the reds to the middle, I'd definitely be looking at trying to tackle them now. And this red that he's close to now, I'd be looking at potentially leaving that last for the black. Because if he puts this now, he's going to have to play the one over the bag to play position on those final two reds. And you might be able to land on one, but you've got to land on one in a way that you can then land on the other. So I'd be looking at taking those reds to the middle. Good boy. Good boy. And now this red to the middle, as long as you can just pot it and land on the one over the bag, which is anywhere white anywhere on the table, then you got the red on the left-hand side, stun it in for the black.
Ooh. Might be thinner than it looks.
Yeah, if it's thinner, then it should run around the yellow.
Yeah.
Unless if he pots it, that's a good shot. Unless if he pots it, the white did hit the yellow, then of course you don't take it on. But he might have the same issue, so now he's got to bring it back. About a foot.
Looks like he's slightly off straight too.
Oh, if he's queuing up there, it's probably not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying it sort of like screws over towards the black.
Yeah, just a fraction of it.
Making the angle a bit finer.
Oh no, he was pretty straight.
He's actually pinched that a little bit too. I think he's done that on purpose. It's good to be able to hold your nerve like that. It's amazing how hard these balls are, even though you're playing Mick, but he's sitting over in his chair. It shouldn't make a difference. But it does.
And he's on the hill.
And he's on the hill, you know. And Matty's, he's not fully established in the senior rankings yet, but he's certainly a very accomplished player. What's that, Dan?
Yeah, Matt got it.
What's going on?
Oh no, we were just questioning the score. It's
3-2?
2-3 to Matty.
Come on, Matty. And Jamie Stevens not very convincingly knocking in a black right there.
Not.
But a 4-0 win nonetheless. Jamie's,
let's see if Mick can get some balls off the break on this table. He was struggling last night.
Yeah. Well, nice break, one to the middle. First glance yellows, but a bit of work to do.
I think yellows are the go.
What's your first ball and how do they link? How do you get down to the bottom? How do you get to the left and right?
The one from the one side to the other, and possibly.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went reds and took the out on. Actually, I would be surprised. I'd actually be surprised if he had to go at an out at all here.
Even a ball for the black, like that one down there, the black, if you went yellow, is not really ideal to get on the black unless it goes past the red. But
yeah, it's really dodgy. I'd be pulling up if I were him. I'd probably nominate yellows, leave an open table and leave the white in a safe place, but give Matty a carrot. Dangle a carrot in front of him, let him have a go. Because if Mick Hill is looking at this and thinking this is hard, I guarantee you it's harder for Matty. The problem is reds and yellows don't look that fantastic right now, but you pot five of either one, all of a sudden the other ones can just lay snookers and whatnot. So I don't like having a go at the out here. I'm going to call this incorrect. And if he stuffs up here, maybe I'll get him to watch it so he can learn something.
I think he was trying to move the red or get the yellow down there to open up the black a bit.
Trying to get the yellow down there to have a linking ball to the one on the bottom. I think it's actually landed, if he can make that, I think it actually landed really well, because if he holds that, knocks in the one that's on the top cushion close to the red, comes over to the one on the right-hand side of the table.
Yeah, gets on that first, you're right.
Yeah, it could be done. Not too much damage done, though. Matty just needs some sort of insurance here. Not easy to do.
So you're through to the last 16, Robbo?
Yeah, into the last 16.
Yeah.
Had a few tricky players, actually. So at least
who have you played?
Actually, his name escapes me now. The guy, he beat Mick Scarry in Big Guns, race to 11, the New Zealander.
Simon.
No, I don't think it was Simon. Was it Simon? No, I don't think it was Simon. Is it a Jamie?
Baden?
No. My apologies, I can't actually remember his name, but solid player. I think he finished top 8 Big Guns. So I had him first up, then I had Jakester, then I had Paul Hancock. So that's sort of how this tournament is, really. I mean, you look at the list, like I was looking at the Calcutta list, and a strong field. Super strong field. There's no hiding. Yeah, Matty's under the pump now. So now it's to the point where Mick Hill can pot out, but still very tricky. But one more safety shot from Mick, and it would be tricky no more.
No.
Oh, roll out. Yay.
So,
Jamie Stevens just keeps chipping away. Just keeps chipping away.
so Mick's starting to look favourite in this frame now, I think.
Yeah, Mick's quite strong favourite here. You know, there's still 3 dodgy reds with not a lot of tactical play. Yellows, there's maybe 2 or 3 dodgy yellows, but they're a lot more accessible and even linked to a pot out.
Would you play a shot to open up the yellows here, or?
Yeah, I'd be looking at trying to free up as many yellows as I can. But you don't want to sort of sacrifice your shot to free up yellows and freeing up reds at the same time. You'd rather Matty have to do that. So that's a really
Great shot.
Obviously, if that sits over the hole, what I love about that is he's gotten 2 yellows out, promoted one into a really nice spot, actually promoted both into a nice spot.
And also left Matty nothing.
Left Matty nothing, like just nothing. You know, if you're Matty from there, you're half tempted to just clear this red out of the bottom left and just hope Mick somehow chops the out up.
That's another good thing with Mick, is where he leaves his white every time is amazing. It's just, you know, you walk to the table and what options have you got? Not many.
It's the main difference I've noticed with Mick Hill and our top players when they play safeties is the white just sort of goes wherever, or we'll put a little bit of effort into it, because sometimes if you leave it in a spot, or if you left it maybe just an inch to the left or right, it will make it so much harder for the other guy, but we don't really put enough care into that.
Yeah, the angles that he leaves with his white.
So you think he's sort of going to try and drift down towards like the black spot and play the ball over the pocket first, or just
I think he'll try and get right down.
Get the white just right down the table. I think he wanted to play it with right-hand side and come off 3 cushions and down in between the black and red.
Yeah, I think he'll run towards the black, sort of just left-hand side of the black.
I think it'll be more of like a stun with left now. Well, that's bizarre.
Maybe you were right. Maybe he's going to just off the cushion.
What's going on here?
He's going to off the cushion, drop the yellow in, and thanks for coming.
Oh, it's closer to the hole than I thought. This can still roll or something. I didn't like that. I didn't like that, because if the table rolled a fraction to the right, that hits that so much thinner, and then all of a sudden that white's behind the black.
Bella. So. All right, so Mick Hill gets over the line. 4-2. He just rolled the one down the cush again and it drifted out a little. You watch. See that?
Yes, Mick.
Played it 3 times.
The viewers all see that it's rolled. Calm down, big fella.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so here's next round's matches. Is it not a blind draw, Dan?
It is, but it's already done on pool stat.
So the whole draw is done?
Yeah, but you can't see who it's going to be.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then the last date, they draw the balls out of the hat, as tradition. So we got Jamie Stevens, Alec Pace, yep, that could go either way. Alec Evernadas, Darren Gordon, yep. Manico, Chris Beagley, that'd be a good one. Stephen Dempsey.
Chris Beagley is having a good tournament. He did well in the big guns too.
Yep. Don't underestimate him. I played with him in juniors. He was very good back then as well. So we got Justin Sage. I hope Mick Hill's name's going to pop up there. Justin Sage, Mick Hill. Come on.
Well, it's going to pop up in one of those 3 spots. Either Steve Dempsey, Mick Hill.
Oh, it is too.
Or Rusty Mick Hill, or Justin Mick Hill.
Who would you like? If you had God powers, where do you put him?
Where do I put him?
Actually, I know where I put him.
I don't.
I put him against Rusty because Rusty won big guns without having to beat Mick Hill. But I know how Justin is, and I would just find it personally quite amusing if Justin drew Mick Hill. Stephen Dempsey,
It's kind of a shame that he's drawn one of those 3 players, because I'd like to see all 4 of those players in the last.
No, I wouldn't.
Last 8.
I wouldn't.
from a quality field at the end perspective.
Yeah. Hey Jamie, have a look at this. Mick Hill. He's either playing Rusty, Justin, or Dempsey. How's that one? That's quite funny to actually see it. Mick Hill's either going to go there, there, or there. Yes, I think so. Down at the top 8, I'm sure they'll be drawing the balls out of the hat. Everyone's beaten Scary this weekend. Yeah. All right, I'm going to mute now.
I like Mandy. We were there in January. Loved it. I said Joel.
I don't want to draw it.
Rubbing. You get coaching with him.
Hey Mark, I called it, didn't I? Hey, you 4-0.
Hello, Malaga. You just missed one before. One there, brother.
Which one is that?